Many consider sharks to be fearless sea predators and the mob of the underwater world, but in fact, this is not quite right. It turns out that even the terrifying great white shark has something to fear. In this episode, you will learn about the main enemies of sharks. Judging by movies, people's stories, and books, sharks are almost untouchable predators that are hard to defeat. However, history proves otherwise. There are many underwater creatures capable of standing up to sharks. Dolphins are among the main contenders. It is important to note that sometimes sharks are not just afraid of encountering them, but are also unable to venture into their territory. One such territory is the Caribbean Sea. In these waters, there are shallow lagoons and coastal areas where sharks would have nothing to feed on, and this means they risk dying or becoming severely weakened from hunger. Now, let's return to the dolphins. These creatures will rely only on cohesion and their developed intelligence in their fight with sharks. The fact that it's better not to attack these mammals is known to all sharks, but there are cases when they succumb to temptation and regret it later. There are many cases in history when a pod of dolphins protected not only themselves and their kin from predator attacks, but also people. One such case occurred in the summer of 2007 on the shores of the American state of California when 24-year-old Todd Endress decided to go surfing, unaware of the sea creatures or other problems that could arise that day. Watching the dolphins, Todd suddenly felt a powerful jolt from under the water. Not understanding what was happening, he found himself almost in the jaws of a shark. It clamped him together with the board and dragged him to the bottom. And suddenly, predators quickly retreat. But why? At the very moment when the shark dragged the guy to the bottom, a group of dolphins rushed towards it, allowing a rescue team to drag the guy to the shore. Did the dolphins feel the predator approaching and were ready to defend, or did it all happen spontaneously? What do you think? Write in the comments below. Orcas are another underwater dweller that is ready to challenge the main terror of the oceans and seas. To adequately compare them with a shark, let's first recall the dimensions of the opponent. For example, take the great white shark, the most famous one. The body shape adapted for life in water helps it to develop high speed while moving. A large mouth with huge, sharp teeth inflicts fatal damage on the prey, biting through bones and cartilage. The average size of a great white shark is about 16 feet long, and its weight is about 1 ton. But that's not enough. Orcas are 32 feet long and weigh up to 8 tons on average. Orcas differ among representatives of the species. They can be resident and transient. The second type of orca is more aggressive. Their victims often become marine mammals and sharks. When orcas attack a shark, they surround it with the whole pod, not letting it escape, and take turns striking strong blows with their tails. Surviving these injuries is almost never possible, but this is not the only method of their attack on sharks. In a fight with them, orcas can also deliver strong blows to unprotected gill slits or ram the predator from the side. It is not for nothing orcas are famous for their amazing intelligence and ingenuity. Scientists have proven that orcas pass on hunting experience by inheritance. They teach the younger generation the techniques of their ancestors, due to which they hunt much more successfully from a very young age. There is a lot of evidence in the world that size doesn't matter when it comes to hunting. Even such a tiny creature as the Brazilian lantern shark causes fear in many ocean predators. The habitat of this fish is great depths. The Brazilian lantern shark has a rather weak body, modest dimensions, and fat instead of muscles. It seems that this creature can't even swim on the surface, but almost the entire ocean suffers from its attacks. Small fish are swallowed by it in one go, but larger animals are not so lucky. The fish cannot finish off the giants of the ocean, but it doesn't need to. To eat, it is enough to just bite off a little flesh. To attack large prey, the shark clings with its upper teeth. The teeth are small, but firmly hold the lantern shark on the body of the victim like hooks. Opening its mouth, it literally gnaws off a piece of flesh from the living creature with its lower jaw, leaving terrible wounds on the body of the prey. Now imagine that not one such pest attacked the same great white shark, but a whole pod. In this case, there would be no trace left of the most dangerous sea creatures. They would just be devoured on the spot. However, the great white shark is not as weak as it seems after listing its enemies. It's still the most dangerous predator in the sea. After all, it claims to be the successor to the famous megalodon. If you want to know more about the great white shark and megalodon, then click on this video right here.